Ray asked, have you gone MIA or is TikTok shadow banning you? Well, TikTok started shadow banning me a little while ago, and after that I started going a little MIA, but only on TikTok. So if you're not following me on other platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, then you won't hear from me much because I haven't been on TikTok. One second. Right, so if you're in Discord as well, I'm most active on Discord. If you're not already part of the Discord community, make sure that you join the Discord community. I'm always in there having conversations, answering questions, asking questions. But since September especially, since we started this year's new Alchemy program, I've just been fully focused on that. I've just been going down my little rabbit holes, as you can see, just a little bit, neglecting my physical appearance a little bit, which is what happens when I get into nerd mode and I'm just reading nonstop every day, all day. That is where I have been. So it's my fault as much as it is the algorithms' fault. But please follow me on other platforms. I have been doing a lot of research on writing and reading, thinking and working, and I am moving towards a longer format presentation sharing. So longer format stuff will be on YouTube, so make sure that you're on there. How many books have you read? I don't know. Al Gore's rhythm. No, literally. Yes. We'll do more Abrahamic stuff. The YouTube handle is Twitchy Witch. Same as here. Twitchy Witch on YouTube, on IG, on Twitter. Help a girl out. Follow me over there. I'm preparing content for over there. So you haven't been seeing me because I've been doing a lot of writing instead of speaking. So when I first started this account, I had been on introvert mode before that for my entire life. I spent 29 years before finally filming myself on camera, reading and writing to myself and doing alchemical work for myself, revisiting Bible stories by myself, writing about all of these different things by myself, until I guess eventually the canister that I had started to overflow, and that moved me towards speaking and sharing. And then I guess after a while of speaking and sharing, my canister started beeping and no, hey, we need to return to hermit mode and refill before we can go back out and share with people, as well as a little alarm in my head that was nagging me towards the last few months of making content, that we had lost the mission. We had lost something. We had disconnected from something that was there originally, and that I can only really get back when I return to myself. And when I say return to myself, I mean like for periods, long periods at a time, to really discuss, to reflect, to look inward. So that's what I've been doing, and that's why I've been MIA, and I've been struggling with it a little bit because there's also this newer aspect of me that was kind of born out of doing this online work. This newer aspect that has an awareness of how social media works, how to run a business, how to sustain myself financially, which constantly, this voice that is constantly telling me that, you need to still produce content. You still need to show up for your audience. You still need to provide value in people's lives, however small you might think that value is. So I'm struggling a little bit with those two sides of myself. The part that wants to hermit, wants to refill the whole canister and wait until it overflows on its own again. And then the part of me that wants me to sort of add a pump to the canister so that there is almost like an artificial overflow that is consistent, that people can benefit from, so that I can continue to sustain myself financially enough to be able to go into hermit mode for periods at a time to do research and refill my canister. So there's definitely a tension there, a dance, a struggle that I'm navigating. And where I have reached in that struggle is the idea that it's time to switch platforms. It's time to take my time, because from the beginning I have felt that like these 3-minute videos, while they are fun and they were a challenge for me initially, a challenge between me and myself, there is still so much to be said about everything that we bring up in these TikTok videos. A lot of the things we talk about warrant a slower approach. They warrant taking our time to really parse them out and go through them. So this is a whole new challenge for me. In the beginning, I challenged myself to take big ideas and condense them into 3-minute videos in ways that really get the message across, in a way that's really impactful. So that was the challenge initially. And when it started working and I got into the flow of it, now that I am out of that, I'm almost having difficulty breaking out of that and moving into something, a flow that is equally harmonic, equally rhythmic on a longer content format. I guess a part of me is still attached to how viral the shorter videos have gone in the past, and almost wants to, there is like this desperate feeling inside of me that like I want to bring back that growth of the past. I want to recreate the magic of those videos, those viral videos that I used to make. And yet every time I sit down to attempt a recreation, I can't find that same spirit that I had at the time anymore. That same excitement for the 3-minute format. And I am acutely aware of the fact that I am imitating myself in a way, imitating a past version of myself rather than creating a new version of myself, creating a new way of moving, a new way of showing up for you, for everyone. So it doesn't hit the same way, right? It doesn't go viral. I mean, my videos do well. They get a few 100,000 views and whatnot, but inside myself, I'm not satisfied with it anymore. Like, I'm almost thinking of that original Twitchy Witch, the first Twitchy Witch that introduced alchemy and religious comparisons and whatnot, comparisons between religious texts, as someone other than myself. And I am imitating her rather than being myself, this twitchy self, who is not her, right? The girl who started this account, Twitchy Witch, was living in Toronto, was extremely depressed, was struggling with an addiction to green things, was very lonely, was very introverted, was still using quote-unquote magic in what I would call today a very rudimentary way. So, and she was a student. She was, studying for her PhD. She was really heavily weighed down by the content of her doctoral thesis, which was Palestine and Palestinian identity and identity under occupation and cultural expression. So that my material, my school material at the time, was also weighing on me so heavily that I sought a sort of refuge in my TikTok, an escape into the world of magic and dreams and symbols and poetry, which I had studied before my doctorate. It was like I was returning at the time to a more naive self that was studying magic and dreams and was disconnected from the political aspect of spirituality and the political aspect of being human, was disconnected from history and the role of oppression in her own history. So that girl that started this account is not this girl. I guess I'm still right now somewhere on this threshold between wanting to resuscitate that original Twitchy Witch of 2022, even though I know that that's not possible, right? I can't actually go backwards. I can't be the same person I was. I can't return to that level of naivete. I can't pretend that I'm still a student writing a PhD. You know, none of those things, none of what I was at the time is the same anymore. But still, as I tell you this, as I express my awareness of this, still there lives inside of me the desperation, the desperate desire to resuscitate her, to bring her back, to make the same videos again, to maybe even repost old videos, rather than engage with what on the other end of this threshold is the challenge that this time is presenting to me, which is to create something new based on who I am today, who this person is. I'm not a student anymore now. I'm a professor. I have a doctorate now. I'm not living in Canada anymore. I'm in Australia. I'm not addicted to the greens anymore, though I do still, engage from time to time. I'm not as, well, today I'm calling it, in retrospect, naivete. I'm not as naive in my ideas about magic as I once was. I'm not trying to escape the political level of spiritual and human life as I was at the time. Like I said, the TikTok that I started about occultism, alchemy, comparisons between religious text was in essence a way for me to move away from all of the political content that I was engaging with, and all of the information that I was indulged in that was weighing me down. TikTok created this outlet for me to forget about the mess that was my homeland and turn instead to a more magical way of existing. So, and I'm not there anymore. Ever since, I feel like a lot of us probably aren't there anymore. And I think people who were aware of Palestine or other humanitarian, let's say, issues probably understand what I'm saying, in that, like, before October 7th, it was like I had the ability to separate these two worlds, the world of magic and the world of reality and politics. I still had this sense that they were different, that they were disconnected somehow, even though in the back of my mind I knew that there was this connection, a very dark and unconscious connection between these worlds. I still almost felt like I could evade having to engage with it. And then since October 7th, obviously everything has come out of the darkness and everything has started to merge into everything. There's really no escaping these discussions anymore. And it's at this point I'm at a place where when I see people trying to escape this connection, all of these things, it looks really sad. I want to say it looks kind of pathetic, you know, like it. And I think of myself, I think back to myself, and I even feel this pity towards my past self. Like, you know, there is this amount of pretending that you need to do to separate these worlds. And after October 7th, more pretending has been demanded. Like, you have to go the extra mile now to pretend that these things don't exist or don't affect one another. I think I reached my threshold for pretending, and I had reached it already before October 7th. I was already ready to pop the top, I guess. Like, my cap was ready to come off, and then the cap of the world came off, and I was like, okay, great, come in, I'm ready, let's go. I've been waiting for this moment. Because I had tried to talk about Palestine a little bit in my videos before then, but OGs will remember the swarm, the army of Zionist bots that came after me at the time. This was before the whole world had started talking about it. This was when I was just a one-person army of my own, slipping in little messages about Palestine here and there. And they caught me. They caught me immediately. They're working overtime. They've been working overtime before October 7th. And they tried really hard to shut me down. It was the Michael video that really tipped them off. When I said that El was an appropriation from the Canaanite gods. That really, really threw people into a rage. And that was a whole year before October 7th. And then after I did that, I took a little break because you guys remember it took a toll on my mental health. I got death threats. I got lots of threatening messages, lots of hate, trolls everywhere. They were the first people to comment on any video I made, regardless what it was about, just calling me, you know, all these awful things and accusing me of awful things. I stopped, I took a step back for a little while, and then for whatever reason, I just started connecting the Bible stories. I didn't even know why. And that was in 2023, the beginning of 2023. And then now, here we are. A lot of things, everything on this journey has been very synchronistic and just in the right time. And I have found myself engaging in things only to find a few months later, the whole world engaged in the same things. So I've definitely seen my own personal experiences, the most telling ones and the most impactful ones on me. I've definitely seen them reverberate out over time, become mirrored, become reflected in the world. In October 2022, I was being bombarded by Zionists for speaking out about Palestine, and by October 2023, the whole world was speaking about Palestine, and the bombarders were being drowned out. Really. And that's just like one little example of things that I've watched spiral out. It's really interesting. And now like I said, I'm a little confused about where to go from here. I have been writing a lot, which is a very solitary, hermetic activity for me. So I really withdraw into myself when I'm in research mode. I am not naturally an extroverted person. I'm an introverted, very introverted person. Starting TikTok was my way of challenging myself to find the balance between extroversion and introversion and to really put myself out there. Before that, I've never done anything like this. I was very against the idea of filming myself speaking before starting this account. I was hard against. I would never film myself speaking for the camera. Like, that's something I've said. I've made fun of people who speak in front of the camera. I've judged myself for speaking in front of the camera, especially in the beginning. Now, 2 years later, I'm here with a new skill. Now I can come on live, for example, very easily without thinking too much about it. Again, for the OGs who've been here for a while, you might remember my first few lives. I cried on my lives because someone said something nasty or something mean. I would just burst into tears. I was so shy. I was worried about every other word that I said. I didn't know what was good and what was bad, what was right and what was wrong. And if if I was doing it right, and if I was upsetting someone. And I was very, very shy, much shyer than I am now. This has grown me a lot. Doing this work has grown me a lot in these ways. But even though I'm here now with this new skill, with the ability to show up in front of the camera comfortably, or somewhat comfortably, and with relatively negligible amount of anxiety or thought around it, that introverted aspect of myself is still there. It's still the core of who I am. I am able to show up like this publicly. I am able to speak publicly. I am able to articulate myself well, make videos, relay information in effective ways, but the core of who I am remains a very solitary, hermetic character, a very inward moving character. Right now, I guess I'm reconnecting with that side of myself. I'm returning to spending long days without even looking at my phone, without opening up a social media app, without getting distracted by, anything from the virtual ethers. Just, going for long hours of reading, writing, thinking, watching things, taking a full day to watch a film because I pause it so much to take notes and write down ideas, taking my time in the morning to read some tarot, reflect on some cards, read some poetry, just really taking my time. And in doing this, in reconnecting with this side of myself and returning to this slower, more solitary way of being, I have also felt called to start making longer form content, longer form videos, maybe some kind of podcast style rant content. It's definitely about Solaris. Solaris definitely, I think I had already been inching towards this, and in little bits was, disconnecting and then listening to the business voice, like post some content, Eliane, post at least once a week, just so that people remember you, just so that no one forgets about you. And then I would retreat, and I would make these videos half-heartedly in response to my business brain, then return to my hermetitude, let's say. I would return to my hermitude. I would make the content half-heartedly, return to my hermitude. But then watching Solaris, reaching that midway point in our alchemy program, that we kind of reached a place that I was hoping we would reach, and kind of like a precipice in a sense. And since then, I've just taken the full plunge in. I had some videos prepared. They're in my drafts, so that I could post them, one post a week, and not have to worry about filming. But I don't think I even want to necessarily do that. I think it's time to move into a new way of being, a new type of creating, a new way of creating. I think it's time to stop trying to resuscitate the old twitchy witch. But anyways, given what you've heard, what do you guys think? Do you think I should try harder to bring back the old twitchy witch, or should I face this new year with new challenges head on? Time to write a book. It's been time to write a book, Joshua, for a long time. Rebrand yourself. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's like the TLDR of what I'm saying. I want to rebrand myself. Don't try harder. Yeah, new. Book has been my goal. Yeah, my original goal from when I was a child was books, to write. I've always identified most with writing, being a writer. I've been working on several books for a long time. I'm always so distracted, especially by this platform, by this 3-minute format. If you are interested in a book, please make sure that you sign up to the newsletter on my website. Just put your email in on my website so that you're part of the newsletter, so that I can look at the metrics and see how many people are actually interested in reading my writing. Because at this point, there's that part of me as well that when I think about the book, tells me that, Eliane, no one wants to read your book. They want you to make videos. They want to hear you talk about things as opposed to read what you have to say. It would be really, really helpful if you guys would, and, you know, like I said, follow the other platforms. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I'm moving towards the longer form approach of YouTube. Joseph and I will be going there together. And if in the meantime you actually want to connect with me, you want to get more thoughts, you want to talk to interesting people in general that like the same things that I do and that you do, make sure you're in the Discord. That is where I am the most active. Like, most of my day is spent at the computer, reading, writing, taking notes, watching things, learning things. And, you know, Discord is right there in my background. So I'm always popping in and out real quick to Discord. So make sure that you are part of the Discord. Everything is at the link in my bio. Everything is on my website. So if you want to join, just go there. You can find also the links to YouTube, to Instagram, to X, everything. You can find everything on my website. And if you want to support me in any way financially, you can also do that on the website in whatever capacity you are able. What I'm getting from you guys, from your feedback, is don't look back. Don't look back. Don't try harder. Don't try to resuscitate the old twitchy witch. We're okay if you let her die and create something new. Am I interpreting this correctly? Please do more long-form content, alchemy, Jung, and ancient tradition. Yes, of course. Well, that's the point. Like, to go back to all my original content and really start to expand, because a lot of what we've talked about, even though we've talked a lot about it, still merits a lot of explanation. J'ai be writing on Substack as a beginning. I don't know why I didn't get too comfortable with Substack as a platform. Maybe I didn't give it a chance. I don't know. I am not covering the UFO in New Jersey. This is my lover. Yay, thank you guys so much. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube. Like, just in case they actually do ban TikTok in the US, because I would just like literally hate to lose you all of a sudden. There's like almost 1 million of us on here, and there isn't nearly that many of us on any of the other platforms. I really want to start focusing my energies on writing and sharing my writing, and moving to what I'm sharing in video, it being long form video that represents my writing. What I would do before, when I started this account, I would write a lot. You know, I've written a lot in my life. Like I said, by the time I started making TikTok, my canister was overflowing. And I was almost like moved by a pure spirit of the world to just do it, instead of making any sudden decisions or really thinking about it too hard. I was just like, you know what? I need to get out there. I need to put myself out there. And I just started making videos. But the challenge was to take the big thoughts, the years and years of thinking and reading and ruminating and experimenting, and condensing them into 3 minutes. Now I'm separating from that urge to condense everything and say everything quickly, and go towards a more natural flow of really taking the time to parse out what needs parsing out. The cage is made of thoughts. Oh, Vida loves life. My card of the day was actually the 8 of Swords. The cage is made of thoughts. The cage is made of thoughts. I'm actually going to put that in my tarot journal for the 8 of Swords. Thank you so much. I'm, of course, using my Mars Smith tarot book and guide. I've loved using the Mars Smith journal to take down my meanings. My relationship with these cards is unlike any other deck I've had before. I love tarot. You guys know that I've been doing tarot for a long time. I only use the classical decks. And the experience that the journal with this deck is giving me is beyond even what I thought it would be. As you can see, I've already been writing in my journal, personalizing my deck, personalizing the meanings of my cards. If you want to get a tarot deck with cards whose meanings are wholly yours and personal to you, to connect with your deck in a whole new way, definitely consider the Smith Tarot, the deck that I made, essentially. So this is not an ad. This is not we are not sponsored by the Smith Tarot. That's my product. So I guess it is an ad, but it's not a sponsorship. You also help me sustain myself financially by purchasing the cards, but you also give yourself the opportunity to create a new relationship with your deck of cards. The cards are based on the imagery of the Waite-Smith deck, mixed with the spatial ambiguity of the Marseille, which is why I decided to call them the Smith Tarot. To get the Mar from Marseille in there, the space of the Marseille, with the appreciating Pamela Coleman Smith, who was written off of the cards. Consider getting yourself a deck of Smith tarot cards. I have mine wrapped up in my Smith cloth. How beautiful this cloth is. Just so you get a sense of the colors and everything. Isn't that beautiful? I think I might make a tapestry of this design. What do you think? Would you hang this up in your room? Would you hang up a tapestry like this? And then these are the cards. So we're using the same sunset color scheme, and then the imagery, as you can see, from the Rider-Waite-Smith, but without the backgrounds, with more spatial ambiguity than the Smith Tarot, that the Waite-Smith Tarot actually affords us. Because the Waite-Smith is very clear and bold about where its characters are. This one is a little bit softer and ambiguous in terms of the environment, the context. So the context is kind of yours to fill, as opposed to receive from the cards themselves. I'm asking, have you made your own deck? Yes, this is it. This is the deck. This is the deck that I have made. Yeah, I do. I write in cursive. Hey, Catherine. How have you been? How are you feeling? Are you recovering? I think you were going through it a little while ago, right? Discord is not in my bio. The link of my website is on my bio. And at the link, you'll find a link to Discord. If you scroll down to free services or community and free resources, you'll find it there. What do people chat about on the Discord? Everything. Everything and anything. Magic, philosophy, politics, alchemy, tarot, books, films, psychology, mythology, science, everything. We have a channel for everything. Come find out. No, for real. That was a better answer, Martian. So for the tarot lovers in the audience, if you want a new way of reading cards, of connecting with your deck, one that is independent from traditional meanings, a free and intuitive way to read tarot, definitely consider getting the Smith Tarot. It'll come with the cards, the journal, and the cloth. Ultimately, the mission behind it, the vision behind it, is to enhance our connection with our intuition and our inner guidance system. Because when people buy tarot cards, they generally they get the little book with the cards, and they generally will pull cards and then just read the book. They'll just go straight to the book. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And with these cards, what you do is you pull cards, and instead of opening a book, you open your journal, this journal, and you go to the card, and, let's say it's the Three of Swords. You'll find a little message. You'll find a little help. You'll find a little something like a prompt to get you started. But you'll also find the space there for your own observations. Like today, I pulled the Three of Swords, and I remembered a line from, Google the quote, I'm sure everyone knows it or has heard of it, but I remembered the quote, knowledge is pain, and he who increases in wisdom increases in sorrow. And that's what I saw today in this Three of Swords, the pain of knowledge, right? Because the Three of Swords is about truths that come to light that hurt, right? We know it's about truths coming to light because of the rain. We know that the rain is telling us that a sky is clearing, something is going to be easier to see, something is going to become more clear. But in becoming more clear, it's going to be very painful. Hence, the swords stabbed into the heart. So there's the pain of knowledge, and I remembered the line, knowledge is pain, and he who increases wisdom increases sorrow. And it's facts. Growing is painful. Growing means acquiring new knowledge. Acquiring new knowledge means having to experience things, and experiencing things that teach us things are often painful. I also wrote experience is the greatest teacher. And here, experience in particular is coming through because the card is a 3. It's a 3 of Swords. And 3 has to do with taking action while being inexperienced. 3 has to do with creating for the first time. It's that first act of creation, the first move of creation, that inner movement. And it's inexperienced. The 3 is inexperienced. It's looking for experience, right? So when you think of the 3 of Wands, for example, and any 3, really, when you're thinking about the number 3, when you pull the number 3, remind yourself that, this is the third. This is the third number in the series of all numbers. In the world of all numbers, from 1 to infinity, there's the first odd number that is not the number 1. I believe Earth is the third planet from the sun, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Earth is the third planet from the sun, and it happens to be the only planet in this solar system that is fit for life, for a creatorial life like us, like animals, like plants. I was talking about the 3 of Wands, so here we have the 3 of Wands right here, when we're thinking about the 3 and taking action while still being inexperienced. Notice how he's still in the beginning stages of his journey, right? He's looking for experience right now. He's looking out into the world, into this desert, into this space. Again, it's ambiguous for you depending on what you're looking out towards. Trying to decide what his first move is going to be. What's the first thing that I'm going to do? How am I going to do this? No matter where he sets his sights, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that he does make the move, that he is making a move. So for you, or for me even, if we're creating something, or we're moving towards something, and we're taking steps forward, or we're here where this 3 of Swords guy, 3 of Wands guy is looking out at all the horizon of possibility of where we might go and what we might do, it's really important to remember that the doing itself is more important than what is done. And the more quickly you can just kind of choose something, you can just decide and go and do something, the more quickly you can learn from it and then iterate. If it doesn't work, you can try something else. If it does work, you can keep doing it. If one part of it works but another part of it doesn't, you can take what works, leave what doesn't, and combine it with something new. So iteration is important. Experimentation is important. More important than getting it right the first time or getting it right in one go. When you're in this place, remember that knowledge is pain. He who increases in wisdom increases in sorrow. And experience is the greatest teacher. Experience is the greatest teacher. So the fact that you do something, you try something, is more important than what it is that you do or that you try. The what is not as important as the actual doing of the thing. Is that what manifesting is? Well, I mean, manifesting has become a very broad, almost industry of its own at this point. How to say pretty in Arabic? Halwa. Oh, halu. Depends. Who are you calling pretty? Is it a boy or a girl or a thing? Yeah, you gave decks as gifts. Oh my gosh, I love that so much, and they're enjoying them. Yay! Do you guys hear that? You guys hear that? Worth your time. These cards are worth your time. You will be benefiting me, and you will be allowing me to benefit you. It is a beautiful exchange of energy between you and I. طب انت حلوة. لا انت حلوة ليلى. How can I get a one-on-one consultation with you? Keep your eyes on the site, on the website. Subscribe to my email list. And right now my one-on-one sessions are closed because I'm running the Alchemy program, and I've been giving all of my energy to the students of the program. And to the program itself. But one-on-one sessions will be open again in the new year very soon. So make sure that you are signed up to the email list, subscribe to the email list and the newsletter so that you know when it's open again. And you can book before it fills up, because it fills up pretty fast. I am loving Australia, actually. It's so nice. Can we get your music playlist? Of course you can get them all. They're all on Spotify. This one is called, what was this playlist called? Dwell in the Secret Place. Dwell in the Secret Place by Ilyana Al-Amuni. You can follow me on Spotify and access all of my playlists. How can I transmute negative energy from what's going on around me into positive energy? Can you elaborate, Bree? What is it exactly that you're trying to transmute? Dwell spelled backwards is lewd. Actually, it's lewd. Whereabouts in Australia? Sydney. Is anyone in here in Australia, by the way? Or from Australia? It feels like everything is crashing around me and it's hard to keep my head up. Do the things that are crashing have to do with you? What's the name of your doll? What doll? I don't have a doll. So none of us are in Sydney? Because, if there's one thing, I love it here. I love the weather, I love the place, I love the way that the city is set up, everything. But the one thing I'm having trouble with is actually meeting people. I don't have a community out here. So I am spending a lot of time alone. When I do spend time with people, besides Nick, it's usually with the ladies from the gym who are all 60 plus, which is fine. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with them being 60 plus. It's just that we don't have a lot in common. We don't have much to talk about. They are, European Australian ladies in their 60s. So, yeah. The area I'm living in is kind of like a almost like a retirement area, I guess. There are a lot of older people here. Don't you knit? I love to knit, but it's summer right now. It's summer in Sydney. I like to crochet more though, to be honest. I prefer crochet to knitting. I prefer the single needle. Trying to purchase the Alchemy 101, but it's not working. That's strange. Why not? Nick is my partner, yes. Well, one of my partners. Never forget Joseph. That's a cute idea. I've actually done that. I have crocheted bralettes before. I don't have my stuff with me now, but everything's in Lebanon. All of my stuff is in Lebanon. Even my clothes are in Lebanon. I came here from Dubai while leaving all of my stuff in Lebanon. I kind of escaped, ridiculously enough. I mean, I was going to Dubai for vacation, and then I got stuck there because of the war, and then I couldn't go back. So I came here. Just a reminder, by the way, please, please, please follow all of my other socials, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, before we lose this platform, and because I am moving towards making longer form content. I am so sorry for being so MIA on this app here. My deepest apologies. I did finish my PhD. I am officially a professor now, but I'm shifting away from this short form content. I'm moving towards longer form content, and that is going to be on YouTube. And the behind the scenes of that is going to be on Instagram as well. And whoever follows me on X/Twitter already knows that I'm a completely other person on X and Twitter. So if you just want to see another side of me, then make sure that you're on Twitter/X as well. And most importantly, please sign up for the newsletter. Please, please, please go to my website, put in your email, and subscribe to my newsletter so that I know that you are willing to read my writing. Because as we found out through just talking through this together on here, we have figured out that I want to write. I have always wanted to be a writer. This platform kind of gave me a way to connect with people and bring them to my writing, and yet I haven't actually written for you guys. I just keep on talking because I decided that you don't want to read my writing. You want to hear me speak. So please help me fight this cognitive bias and this subconscious belief. Please help me conquer it by subscribing to the newsletter so that I can see the numbers and be like, okay, Eliane, this many people want to read what you're writing. Like, they want to read your newsletter. Please do it. Do it. Make the book. Write the book. Write one of the books at least, because there are like 3 right now in process. The one that like I want to make is totally unrelated to any of my content. It's a novel about me. It's a fiction, but so it's based on my life before starting TikTok, before doing all of this. And that's the one that I want to do. That's the one that I want to work on. It's the one that I want to put out and that I want to publish, but it's completely disconnected, has nothing to do with my content. I mean, maybe a little, because things that I think about, my content is about the things that I naturally think about. So those things are in there, but it's not about them. It's about the character. It's a story. It's a novel. But it's not like, then my business brain is like, Eliane, that's not what they want to read about. They want you to write about alchemy. They want you to write about symbolism. They want you to teach them things. Like, they need you to write a nonfiction. Like, that's what they want. And that's the second project that I have, which is just like a book on alchemy, period. It's a total mess. Just a lot of notes all over the place. And then the third book is the master's thesis that I wrote, that I'm trying to edit into a book because so many people have asked me to read the thesis, but it's virtually unreadable. It's a shit thesis, and I'm not allowed to publish it myself because the university owns it and they won't give me the rights so that I can republish. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I'm just editing it so that it's a different book to publish. And now I have those 3 projects just in the air, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to write about them, but I don't know which one to perfect. Which one do people want to read? Should I write the one that I want to, or should I write the one that people want to read, or should I write the thesis because everyone's asked for it already, or should I explain alchemy more? Da 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 da. And eventually I'm like, you know what? None of these. I'm just gonna write about something else and do research on something and ignore the noise. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do it all. Yalla. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, but it's creating a mess, basically. I need to prioritize, and I just don't know what to prioritize. Life leading up to your TikTok, prioritize that. You think I should prioritize? Yes. Ooh, tell us about you as a fiction. Yay. Just take action. Wow, you guys are so right. Yes, that 3 of Wands. I just got the message. I'm excited about the novel. Oh my God, you guys are so sweet. You're giving me so much affirmation right now. My heart is like growing in size. Thank you guys. I really needed this. I actually really, really needed this. I am going to start working on my book, on the novel, and then I can get into the other stuff. But I need to get this novel out of my heart. It needs to come out. It wants to come out. Are you Miriam or Ilyan? Actually, Miriam is my spiritual name. Oh, you want to exchange notes? Make sure you're in the Discord. That's where we're exchanging notes and ideas and everything all the time. And you'll find more people than just me, and more talented people and smarter people and interesting people and people who know things about things that I've never heard of in the Discord. So make sure you're in the Discord. If you're looking to like connect, find community, to communicate, to bounce ideas, Discord. And I'm in the Discord most of the time. That's where you'll find me the most. When I've disappeared from here and I'm not on Instagram and I'm not arguing with people on Twitter, I'm in Discord. You mean Ilyan is your given name, Miriam your adopted name? No, Ilyan is my given name, Miriam is my spiritual name. I am. That's what I'm actually working on, Tarot Pedas. Yeah, the link for Discord is at my website. Everything is at my website. The cards, the tarot kit with the journal and the cards on my website, links to my other social media pages, other journals that you might want to look at or purchase that I've made. Patreon, if you want to sign up to Patreon. On Patreon, I share some different things. Mostly right now, we've been, for the past 1.5 years or so, we've been reading the Red Book, Carl Jung's Red Book, 1 chapter at a time. So every 10 days or so, we release a new chapter. So if you want an audiobook of the Red Book, make sure you're on Patreon. There are other audiobooks on there as well. The Tao Te Ching. I did the Book of Luke a few days ago. I think that came out a few days ago for Christmas. I did the Book of Luke. We've done The Little Prince. We've done the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. So check out the Patreon. And there are other things on there, like little private creations, longer videos, things that I'm experimenting with, just little creative projects. All of that is on Patreon. So if you want to support me financially for, the price of a cup or 2 of coffee a month, I would be eternally grateful to you, and you would have access to some of this extra stuff, as well as the private channels on the Discord. And in those private channels, we also talk a little bit more, and we have gatherings from time to time. We'll have like a live get together. We just had a Christmas hangout a couple of days ago. We recorded the conversation and I uploaded it to Patreon as well afterwards. So yeah, just, check all of that out. If you can support me in any way, I would deeply, 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 infinitely, beyond a doubt appreciate it. Do you have a full-time job? This is it. This is my full-time job, which is why I'm pushing some of my own products. But I can assure you that I would never ever try to sell you anything. One, that I haven't made myself. Two, that I haven't, if at least tried and fully enjoyed and endorse and use myself. And that I know will benefit you, that I know will bring value to your life. I would never, ever tell you to pay for anything with your own energy, with your own money, that wasn't, one, ethically sourced and made, obviously, and made by people whose thinking you're aligned with, and that doesn't benefit you. You've seen my page. I never do ads or promoted videos, or I don't get sponsored by anyone except for water, because we love water. Water is the greatest sponsor, and you can find water anywhere for free, I hope, if you're not in Gaza. Besides water, I have no sponsors, so all of the money I make is the money that you give to me to provide you value. There's no middleman between us. There's no big company that I need you to go and talk to or use a code with. It's all between you and I. The mango orange nameless juice was something that I would get from Costco in Canada, and unfortunately I haven't been to Costco in Australia yet, and I can't find it. I can't find the mango orange juice. I can't. But yeah, this is what I do as a full-time job. So if you like what I do, if you want to connect more on the other platforms, on Discord, and if you want to support me in what I'm doing in this new project that I'm creating, in this new identity that I want to move in, the new content that I want to make, if you want to support me and help me financially to be able to do that, because that is, I mean, it costs money to be able to spend your whole day reading, right? To spend your whole day reading and writing and thinking about things and preparing lessons and giving classes to people and reading people's homework and engaging on Discord and providing value and meaning and all of that. It costs money, right? It costs a certain amount of sustenance. So if you want to support that, I know that I haven't been creating content, which is why I'm so even more grateful for my patrons and students right now, because they're supporting and I'm not providing content, which I should be. But I'm doing the work in the background. Like, you can trust that I'm preparing something. Of course you can be in the Discord. Anyone can be in the Discord. And trivia nights, oh my gosh, yes. There's trivia night in the Discord. The Discord is just a fun place to be, okay? It's just a good place to be. What topics do you consider writing? Everything. Right now, lately, the past 10 days or so, I've been writing about humanity. Human. What does it mean to be human? That's been the main question for the past 10 days or so. Since watching Solaris. Since watching Solaris, I've just been down a rabbit hole of research papers, philosophy, poetry, thoughts, questions, movies, videos, everything. Trying to bring together the different conceptualizations we have of what it means to be human. It is loaded. It is loaded for sure, Catherine. Can you tell us more about your soulmate in the background? You mean Joseph? We do have live chats in the Discord constantly. We're always chatting in the Discord. But we do live chats, like a call, like a hangout. We do that in Patreon. The Patreon channels will have patron hangouts. Like I said the other day, we had a holiday hangout for patrons, which was fun. We used to do tarot circles. I don't know if anyone's going to start those up again sometime soon, but there's tarot circles from time to time where everyone will like pick a good time and get together to talk about tarot. There's film club, there's book club, there's trivia night. It's a beautiful community. It's a beautiful community. Oh yeah, I love the Museum of Tarot. I'm terrified of tarot. The spirit realm is full of parasites, so it's difficult for me. Is it the spirit realm or is it your unconscious? Have you heard of what happened in Syria? Has anybody not heard of what happened in Syria? And does anybody really know what's happening in Syria? Thank you everyone for the gifts, by the way. If I didn't say thank you, if I missed your gift, if I missed saying thank you, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Is your family super involved with the occult? What do you mean by super involved? And what do you mean by the occult? Have you read the whole Quran? Yes. How would you connect with the US when TikTok gets banned? Well, I'm hoping that you guys are following me on the other platforms. Like I was saying earlier, please follow the other platforms. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. YouTube is where I want to be posting the newest, longer form content. Take on hallucinogens for enlightenment. No tick. To each his own. I'm not saying you can or can't gain some sort of enlightenment on drugs, but I know that you can without them. You hit full enlightenment. Interesting. Yes, the name is the same on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter. Twitchy Witch. Oh, I know. There's a lot of people. By the way, if anybody ever shows up in your DM asking for money, that's a scam. If anybody ever under my name or my likeness tries to ask you for money or get money out of you in your DMs, please block and report them. That is not me. That is a scam. Do not give money to people on the internet. I would never, ever, ever slide into your DMs asking for money. Never. I have a schedule. I have work that I do. If you want to contact me, you can come to Discord. You can send me an email. It'll never be through DMs. Never. How can you distinguish enlightenment from delusion or mental illness? You can't. You can't because in many instances they're the same thing. But in one, as enlightenment, it is a spiritual experience. As mental illness, it is a diagnosis. So it really depends on the frame. You could take any one of my videos and call what I'm talking about mental illness. Really. It just depends on your frame. Yeah, you watched my dissertation video. I'm so glad. Stay out of my dreams. You've been dreaming of me. By occult, I mean all mystery beliefs. Well, I don't have mystery beliefs. I do read a lot. Where is the dissertation? It's on my website. Everything is on my website, you guys. Please subscribe to the email list. Please join the Discord community. Please just get involved with my account everywhere else outside of TikTok. TikTok is going to become the last thing that I look at, the last place that I post stuff. You know, I might not even post it all if it gets banned in January in the US. So I've been writing about being human. I joined this writing program to help me structure my writing. The goal of the program is to write 1,000 words for the week. Can you guess? Can you guess how many words I've written? The ideal length is 1,000 words. Okay. Oh, you guys know me really well. You're already guessing 3,000, 3,600. Yeah. You guys know me really well. Yeah. 2,500, 3,650. I mean, Beyonce, the guess is really close. It's 3,760. I've 3,700 words so far, and I'm halfway through. And the assignment was to write 1,000 to 1,500 words a week. And I was like, maybe I need to write 5,000 or 6,000 words a month. Maybe that'll be a good goal. But yeah, I'm already almost 4,000 words into what it means to be human, what it means to debate, how to debate effectively, how to debate a question like what is humanity in an effective way. How do you decide what to write about? You know what? I think I just fall into it because I read a lot already. So I'm constantly writing, and then I'll be writing about something and find that I can't stop. I have more questions. And I'll ask more questions and I'll find more papers to read or more books to read. And as I'm reading more papers and more books and gaining more knowledge on this thing I had a question about, I'll start writing some more. And that's what's been happening with this. Is it human? What is human? Is Hari human? Hari is the character from Solaris who started this whole spiral of thinking. When are you opening your one-on-one sessions again? Very soon. Just make sure that you are signed up to the email list. Please, please, please subscribe to the email list and the newsletter on my website, and you will get immediate information of okay, one-on-one sessions are open now. Eliane is writing a book. here's the pre-sale link, there's also secret society, secret email list, discounts on everything. You were so important in deconstructing the Zionism I was raised in. I'm so thankful. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Ashi. That makes me ecstatic. That makes me so happy. Wow. Thank you. What I've been writing about lately is what does it mean to be human? Like I said, I took a little writing program to help me structure my thoughts a little better. Writing like a content writing program, you know? And it didn't like teach me anything that I didn't know. Obviously, I literally have a PhD in literature and writing, but it did remind me of a lot of things that I had let go of, and it did teach me that the difference, or to remember the difference between content writing and research writing, or academic writing, or novel writing. Like to just really separate. It's helping me structure and separate writing a newsletter versus writing a tweet, versus writing a thread, versus writing something for a carousel, versus writing a script for a video. And I'm at the newsletter assignment, which is supposed to be 1,000 to 1,500 words for a good long newsletter. And I am at almost 4,000 words. Germany is going far right. Help. You know what, you guys? The whole world is going far right. And for those of us who aren't there and who aren't going that way, I think we need to take a minute to really accept and understand the world that we're moving into. We're moving into a new world. And in this new world, the bullies are going to be really empowered. We are going to need to be smarter. We are going to need to be patient, intelligent, poignant, specific, poised. We need to be ready. We need to be ready to ask questions, to be curious, to be agents of chaos, really, is what's most demanded of us right now. Because the right is going to be empowered all over the world now with Trump's victory. The bullies are going to be empowered. The boys, the hard ones, the knuckle it through life, the Zionists, the gaslighters, the liars, the underminers. These people are going to be, this energy is going to be very, very prominent, I think, in the coming months, if not the coming years. We need to be a lot smarter now, moving forward. We need to be more poised. We need to be more patient. We need to be ready, calmly and confidently and stoically face and undermine these energies. And by undermine, I don't mean attack head on. I don't mean argue with. I don't mean anything that empowers the bully, right? Because the attack space, the fighting space, the heads-on spaces, these amplify the bully's power. That is not the way we want to play anymore. We need to be more subtle. We need to be more trickstery in our approaches, more insidious in our approach. Like when you're at Christmas right now, you're at lunch or dinner with your family and you're sitting next to the Zionist relative, don't try to give them the facts. Don't ever, and I think this is the mistake that a lot of us make on the pro-humanity side of things that are happening. The mistake we tend to make is to assume that there is some gravity to the moral appeal. We think that if we're talking to a Zionist and we just, by virtue of just listing the numbers of children that have been killed, the numbers of children that are starving, the numbers of women giving birth without anesthetics, we think that by virtue of just using the facts, that somehow our argument is going to have a certain amount of gravity attached to the moral appeal. Like in our minds, well, of course they can't argue. They can't really argue anything with 20,000 children have died. They can't argue with that. Yes, they can. And to say 20,000 children have died is not an argument. And a moral appeal has no weight, has no gravity, as much as we would like it to. As enraged as we are, and as upset as we are, and as awful as murdering 20,000 babies is, bringing it up doesn't have any gravity. When you're arguing with someone who supports what's going on. You're not defining anything by putting out the facts. They don't really care about the facts, and what they're most likely to do is deny it, because it's easy to deny it. It's the fact of what's happening is so outrageous that it already lends itself to conspiracy. That's just how mad some of the things that are happening are. That's literally just how outrageous the world is. And so it already lends itself to this dystopic, conspiratory rhetoric and narrative, right? So it's easy for them to be like, that's a conspiracy, that's propaganda, that's not true. And even if it is true, there's a reason for it. So in assuming that the moral appeal has any persuasive or rhetorical weight, you create the opportunity for the other person to define what you're saying, to define it with an anti-definition, in a sense, to anti-define it as conspiracy, propaganda, reasonable. So forget sharing the facts. They aren't going to get you anything. They aren't going to get you anywhere, especially not if someone is on the polar opposite side of the spectrum. It's something to do with the world, right? What we need instead, the fake news argument, yes, 100%. It's illogical, but also logical, and unfortunately, it is valid. And so instead of doing this, oh, well, they did this and they did that, and this is so bad and this is so wrong, to ask more questions and to agree wholeheartedly to the degree of ridiculousness, you know? So, for example, I've talked about this before. For example, when you're told that, oh, you know, they hate queer people, it won't give you anything. You won't get anywhere stopping to argue that point. Queerdom is criminalized, was criminalized in Gaza pre-Hamas. That doesn't mean, pre-October 7th. That doesn't mean that there were no gay people there, you know, but no, they were not open. Same way as anywhere else in the world before, like 10 years ago. Okay, being gay was a disease in America, like 20 years ago. So to sit and argue that point would be ridiculous, right? It wouldn't be smart on your part to sit and argue about whether or not queer people are accepted. لا بلد. Queerdom is criminalized under religious rule, Abrahamic religious rule, obviously. It's not a mystery. So instead of arguing this point, when they say you can't be gay, they hate gay people, what you want to say is, really, you want to be surprised. Tell me more. Like, what have they done to gay people? Do you have any stories? Like, tell me more. How do you mean? What do you mean they hate gay? They'll say, oh, they push people off the roof. Wow. Who did they push off the roof? Like, did you hear, like, is there someone that you, like, heard about that got pushed off a roof? Or they're not going to have much to say. They're not going to have much to say. They're going to try to say stuff. And when they do, what you want to say back is something along the lines of ridicule, you know, and in a playful way, because this is your cousin at Christmas, right? In a playful way, you want to say something like, well, then, yeah. I mean, if they hate gay people that much, then, yeah, kill them all. No, murder them, destroy them. Fuck these people. Honestly, fuck these people. If they hate gay people, as you're saying, then yeah. I don't see why Israel is leaving any of them alive. I don't see why it hasn't razed the entire place to the ground yet. Why is it still giving them chances? You know, something really ridiculous that'll make them take a step back so that they want to dissociate from your level of mania, if you know what I mean, for what they see now as a level of mania within you. Because they're going to be like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm not saying that they should all die. No, yes, you are. No, yes, you are. You are, though. You are, though, and I'm agreeing with you. So why are you pedaling backwards? Like, why are you backpedaling? You are saying that. I'm just clarifying. So approach these things. Moving forward from here, we need to start approaching these things from this more playful, more cunning, more insidious, more trickstery way. We cannot be defending our position anymore. Khalas. We cannot be discussing facts. We cannot be listing numbers in the hopes that they're going to have some sort of moral appeal. There's no persuasion in the moral appeal. And moving forward from here, that's all we're doing anymore. We are playing the game of persuasion. We're not playing the right and wrong game. We're not playing the who knows more game. We're not playing the it's time to wake up game. No. We're playing a debate game. We're playing the game of persuasion. And in the game of persuasion, the facts don't win and the truth doesn't win. The person who defines the terms, who speaks with more confidence, who is rhetorically engaging and persuasive, they win the persuasion game. They win the debate. And in my alchemy program, actually, we finally reached, I was saying earlier, we've reached a peak in the program, a place I wanted us to get to, and that is the debate space. We had a debate in our last class over, is Hari human? Oh, we hit 100K likes, yay! I edit my lives and I upload them to my YouTube, so please make sure that you are subscribed to YouTube. And if you want to watch previous lives, they're up there. You can catch them on YouTube right now after this. So moving forward, we have to level up and recognize that we are playing the game of persuasion. And I got my alchemy class to start working this muscle a couple weeks ago in our last lecture, in our last class. We had a debate on whether or not Hari from Solaris is human. And it doesn't, let me make this very clear. The question is Hari human? The winner of the debate is not the person who's right. It doesn't actually matter whether or not Hari is human. There is actually no answer. There is no definitive yes or no to this question. No one is right or wrong. The person who wins the debate isn't the person who's right or wrong. The person who wins the debate is the one who makes the better argument. The person who is more persuasive. To be persuasive, we have to have definition. We have to know what we're talking about. We have to speak well. We have to speak confidently. We have to be playful. We have to be a little trickstery. So please remember, from here on out, in this new world, in the world of bullies, we are not playing the game of right and wrong. We are not playing the game of they need to wake up, everyone in the world needs to know about this. No, everyone knows. Everyone knows. And whatever they think about it will tell you where they stand in terms of humanity, how they see humanity, what they see as the optimal way of relating and being as a collective. It's not right and it's not wrong. You're not right because you support Palestine, and they're not wrong because they're Zionists. Khalas, the lines have been drawn. The game has started, and the new world is already taking form. And the bullies of this world are gonna be very empowered. The bullies are gonna be very empowered, and we need to play the game. Yes, thank you, Kimberly. We need to play the game. You're sitting at Christmas dinner. Somebody says something about Israel, Palestine. Either don't engage or engage playfully. Do not, I repeat, do not list off the facts that they already know. Don't. Just don't. Question them. Question them. Ask them to define stuff. Ask them to elaborate on any one of the myriad of talking points they have, because they can say that they hate gay people. Oh my God, they hate gay people. You can be like, wow, really? How? What gay person do you know was, punished at the hands of Hamas, and what did they do to them? What did they do? Ask questions. Ask more questions. Detach yourself and ask questions. Khalas, your heart is in the right place. Your heart is in the right place. Your heart is with humanity. You don't need to prove that to anyone, and you don't need to put anyone else's heart in the same place. You don't. You really don't. You need to find resolve in where your heart is and how you feel about humanity. Find resolve in this, a quiet, confident resolve within yourself first, and allow people to tell you who they are. Allow people to tell you where they're at. Allow people to unfold and unravel in front of you. Ask them questions. Keep your resolve and ask them questions. Say your piece, but don't yell it, don't repeat it, don't back it up, don't try to prove it. Say it with your confident, quiet resolve in your heart. Anna, I know where I stand. بالنسبة إلى Palestine, Israel, Sudan, Haiti, Congo, Australia, whatever it is, I know where I stand. I know in my heart where I stand. I have a resolve with it. Does it mean that anytime someone is a Zionist or exposes their Zionism around me, I'm gonna get into it with them? أكيد لا. Of course not. Of course not. Can you talk about Abrahamic ruling on queerness? A bro is stressed. I mean, it's very simple. Don't be gay. It's not. It's not a mystery. I know a lot of people like to try and make it seem like, oh, this is not about being gay, this is about this. Actually, they don't say anything about homosexuality. Don't be gay. If you're Abrahamic, don't be gay. That's the general rule. It doesn't need parsing out. It really doesn't. Ridicule, find it in your heart. Find it in your heart to be so resolved that you can ridicule the other side. Khalas. We don't need to live in desperation forever. We don't need to always be in, oh my God, how can I change things? How can I make it stop? Why is there evil in the world? Why this? There is evil in the world. There is evil. There is evil. Okay? There are people who will do things just because they can. They'll do the most disgusting, despicable, horrible, unimaginable things because they can. Because they can. Bas. Only because they can. And for no other reason. Accept this. Accept this truth about the world. Accept it. This is a fact. All that we can do is keep our own resolve. If you in your heart know where you stand, know that you want to choose to be better, to choose to learn, to choose to expand because you can. Because you can. Do that for you. Do that for you, and from that place, play with the world. You are lucky. All of us in here, we are very lucky. We're very privileged. We're bystanders to the horror of life. We are bystanders to the kind of suffering a human can experience and have inflicted on them in this world. We're bystanders. Even though we've, I'm sure, had our personal experiences and our personal sufferings, we're all still safe. Most of us, I'm guessing, 99% of us that are in here, we are not living somewhere where we're worried about being bombed 24/7. We're not starving. You know, we have smartphones. We have access to internet. We're doing relatively okay, right? And as such, that makes us the lucky bystanders of the actual horror that can be done to people in the world. As bystanders, it's our job to mediate, to play, to fill in the blanks, to fill in gaps, to catch someone if they happen to fall in our way, Good Samaritan style. For some of us, it's going out of our way to go fight on the battle line somewhere, maybe. But for most of us, I know that I'm not that person. I know that I'm not taking up arms and getting on any battlefield or front line to fight. I'm not a violent person. I don't have that inclination. That is not the way that I engage with the world or play with the world. And I'm guessing for most of you as well, you're not particularly inclined to join an army for resistance or an army for occupation or oppression or whatever it is. I'm guessing you're just not You're not particularly violent. Violence is not the way that you want to express and create in this world. It's not because violence is bad or wrong. Violence exists. These things exist. Okay? But they're not for us. For us, we have our words. We have our mind. We have each other. We have books. We have experience. And we have an opportunity to play. To just play. To see someone so deep in their conviction of darkness and malice, and they hate gay people, so honestly, if it were me, I could never find myself supporting people who want to kill gay people and queer people. I would never support people who hate queerness. Okay, so I guess we should just kill them all, or should we just wipe them out? Just nuke them? Why don't we just nuke them? Why don't they just nuke them? They should just nuke these people. Fuck these people. Fuck their parents. Fuck their ancestors. Fuck their children. These people don't need to be having babies. Fuck them. I wish they would just kill them all. And then the other person would be like, that's not what I'm saying, actually. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Think about that. And I'm going to continue to have my lunch and, think about The Crown that I've been watching. I don't know. You know what I mean? Is this making sense? Am I just on a completely nonsensical rant, or is this helpful in any way? I hope it's helpful. Yay, okay, I'm glad. Okay, good. Remember these. Take these with you to the holiday. Take these with you to Christmas and to all of your politically distributed cousins and family. Be cheeky. Do it, yeah. And keep cool. Keep calm. Keep cool. Be a chill guy. Be a chill guy who loves humanity. Forget the facts. Use things like metaphor, ridicule, comparison, definition. Forget the facts. Forget the moral appeal. There is no moral appeal. The moral appeal means nothing. Nothing. The same way that their moral appeal doesn't mean anything to you, right? Their moral appeal is October 7 was the worst thing to ever happen to us. It was the worst thing to happen to Jewish people since this is a moral appeal, and to you, you're like, what the fuck? Like, please, that's so lame. That's not an argument to build on. When they say that, you give it definition. And you'll say, well, what happened before October 7th? What led to you see what I mean? So the moral appeal has no grounds. Show us the cards. Oh yeah, guys, one more plug for the Mars Smith Tarot. I do have to go soon, actually. If you're interested in creating a new relationship with your cards and reading your cards a new way and reconnecting with your intuition, please consider ordering a Mars Smith Tarot kit. It is a whole new way of connecting with the tarot. It uses all the classical imagery. It has the journal, which is what makes it so special, full of prompt space, routes for research, and just room for you to put down your own ideas and your own thoughts and really connect with your deck in a personal way, so that when you read people, your cards are not like anyone else's. There's no shipping to Indonesia. No, there should be. I will talk to the suppliers right now when I get off of here. That's weird. It's the Mars Smith Tarot deck. The Mars Smith Tarot kit, you can find it on my website. You can find everything on my website. Please consider it will be really, really valuable. I can 100% assure you that it's going to be very valuable to you. And it will be a great support for me. So thank you in advance if you consider getting one of these. Second reminder is to make sure you join our Discord if you're looking for community and people to talk to about all of these stuff. Third thing is please subscribe to my email list. Please give me the affirmation that you do want to read my work, that you do want to read my newsletters, that you do want me to write a book, please. And just in case we lose this platform, make sure that you're following on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, and especially YouTube, but Instagram also, because I am making longer form content. And that is all for today. So thank you so much, beautiful people. Respectfully, thank you. This was super fun. I hope I see you around the Discord. Remember, I'm so sorry that I've been at MIA on here. I really am. But I'm in the Discord. Okay, I'm around. If you're in the community, the general community, you will find me around. You'll find me around the Discord, in the Alchemy class, if you're in Alchemy, on Instagram, posting stories, but Discord for sure. So I love you, and this was a lot of fun, and I promise that I will work to do these lives more so that even if I'm not making content, this is long form. We'll still be able to connect. I'll still be able to talk and take my time with certain concepts. The Discord is linked on my website. So you go to my website, you scroll down to free resources and community, and you will find a link to the Twitchiverse Discord. And if you scroll down further, you will find a place to enter your email that says, hey. You put your email in and you click hey, and you will be subscribed to the email list, to my website. Please subscribe to the email list. Please follow on the other platforms. And I really hope that I see you around the Discord. If you're looking for me, that is where I am 90% of the time. I will go and speak. I will connect with the suppliers right now to see what the Indonesia thing is. I will get that sorted out. And if you're in the Discord, I will let you know in the Discord the updates. Yay. Thank you, Jet. Yes. Khalas, I'm going to start from today. I'm going to start working on this book today. And I'm working on the novel because you guys gave me permission to start working on my novel first. I can be a novel writer for a second and not a teacher, right? Okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much. This was awesome. I will do my best to be on here again very soon. Okay? Love you. I love you.